Hi everyone, welcome to the Nesha Mom Show, where we talk about things that parents go through, mothers, fathers, uh, questions you might have, things you want to talk about, forming a support group. That's what the Nesha Mom Show is all about. Uh, so this time I'd like to talk about the doctor's visits. I had to learn that you can't be afraid to speak up for your child. You know, the doctor, yeah, they know what they're talking about, but they don't always know what's best for your child. I just recently changed doctors, and it's kind of like night and day. The first doctor that I went to was actually a referral because I was kind of afraid of kind of testing the waters and trial and error, and maybe I might go to a certain doctor and then it's going to end up being a bad experience, things of that nature. Now, the original doctor I went to was very nice, very professional, nice people, nice nurses, but there's just a couple of things that made me change, and I had to just not have that fear to change and try something new because it worked out wonderfully. So, for instance, the baby got his 2-month shots. Very horrific experience, especially for first-time moms. Second or third-time moms kind of know what to expect, but it's still a horrific experience. The doctor, I feel like she's always a little rough with the baby. She came in and she noticed that he has to get shots. She noticed he had some cradle cap, and she said, "Oh, he has a little cradle cap," and proceeds to scratching it off of his forehead. Of course, he starts hollering. She's like, "Oh, it doesn't hurt him. He's just mad because I'm messing with him." Okay, if it didn't hurt, why did he all of a sudden start crying? Then she puts him on his tummy and say, "Hey, let's do tummy time," while he's still crying. And I had to just speak up and say, "Oh, I'm going to go ahead and get him, wait till he calms down." I had to pick him up off of his stomach because, of course, he's not going to do well in tummy time. You just scratch his scalp and then put him on his stomach. Another thing, when the nurse came in for the immunizations, then they had to give an oral immunization, and they laid him on his back. I said, "I'm going to sit him up just so that he won't get strangled or anything." And the nurse said, "Oh, he's fine on his back. Mom's just being overprotective." Then she kind of put it in there too fast, and I was trying to blow in his cheek to swallow it. He ended up spitting a lot up. She's like, "Oh, he has a lot of acid reflux." I'm like, "Lady, he does not have acid reflux. He just got strangled because you guys don't know how to handle him." Then, of course, he got his shots, and you know how that goes. Woo-dee-woo. The doctor, overall, like I said, was nice, but she kind of has a defensive attitude if you ask a question she doesn't really like. And then also I felt like she was kind of rough with the baby. So I did my research, found another doctor, look at the reviews, and it's actually super close to my house. So we took him there. We had to step out on faith and take him there for his 4-month shots on the first visit. And the nurses were so nice, very tentative. They actually have a different way of measuring the baby that's easier on this table. The doctor came in. She has children. She was saying things that she did with her children to recommend for me. For instance, the other doctor gave me some vitamin D when he was a newborn, like maybe 2 weeks old. And she told me to give it to him. He doesn't know how to swallow it yet, so he got strangled, of course. She said she knows vitamin D that you can take where just all they need is 1 drop. She's like, "Yeah, the other one is like whole milliliters, too much. Just use this version that's only a drop." Or, "I did this with my children, and you should do," kind of going based off her own experience. She was very gentle with the baby. He was laughing the whole time. When the nurse came in to do the immunizations, he also had to do an oral one for this visit as well. I was like, "I'm going to go ahead and sit him up." They had him on his back. "I'm going to sit him up so he won't get strangled." The nurse didn't say anything. She's like, "Okay, that's fine." And she talked him through it and gave it to him drop by drop. And it was just a much more pleasant experience. So I just want to encourage you, moms, dads, don't be afraid to speak up for your baby, especially at the doctor's office. It can be a little intimidating because you look at them as the experts who know what they're doing. They know what's best for the baby. They're not going to harm or hurt the baby, but you still have to protect your baby even in that type of atmosphere when you're with a professional who deals with babies all day, because you know your baby the best. You know what's best for your baby. And don't be afraid to, if you don't feel, I like to trust my instincts. I've been reading a book by T.D. Jakes about instincts, follow your instincts. And when you feel a certain thing is saying, hey, maybe I should change to a different doctor, listen to that instinct. And look at reviews. And, I mean, it's good to have people to refer, but sometimes you got to step out on faith and find your own situation. So that's the encouraging word. Most people don't like going to the doctor. Babies don't. But, at least you can have a pleasant experience when you do go. And also, you can use your Mobi. If anyone's wondering what this is the Mobi. This is not the newborn tie. This is the tie you do right after they're newborn, where his legs are out and arms are out. The newborn tie, their feet are confined. But I use this when I go grocery shopping or out. He loves to sit on it because he's close to mom. For instance, today he sat down he did pretty well, sat down for like at least 30 minutes or so. But he wanted his mommy, but I still had to get some stuff done, so I just tied him up in a Mobi. I'm able to have my hands free, cook, do what I need to do, clean up while I'm around the house. So those are just some little tidbits that I've learned from just looking at other people and my own experience. So let me know if you think of any topics you want to talk about. Please comment on the comments below. Any questions you have, suggestions you have. Let's talk it out. Let's be a support group. Y'all have a blessed day. Just did a short little segment today. God bless, and speak to you next time.